Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's episode, I'll be creating Thomas Tuchel's penultimate squad before the World Cup, okay? But before that, as always, please like, comment and subscribe. It's very much appreciated and it goes a long way with me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 296 subscribers. We only need 4 more and then we're going to be in the, over the 300 mark. So hopefully we can do that. Honestly, I'll be over the moon, wouldn't I? And yeah, like I've said before, thank you very much for all the likes and the comments on social media, all the likes and the comments on our YouTube channel as well. Absolutely amazing, definitely to go unnoticed. And yeah, let's get straight into the episode, shall we? Now, Thomas Tuchel is set to announce his squad at 10 a.m. on Friday. So by the time this video gets released, I want to say the squad will be out. So let's just try and see how many players I get right and how many players I get wrong out of the obviously 26-man squad. So we'll have to wait and see. Now let's start off with the goalkeepers. Okay. Now for me, the 3 goalkeepers pretty much pick themselves, don't they? In Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, and Aaron Ramsdale. I can't see any other goalkeeper being in contention other than maybe James Trafford. He could probably come in instead of like an Aaron Ramsdale. We'll have to wait and see. For that one, it depends, doesn't it? Obviously, Ramsdale, of course, he conceded 5 to 7 goals against Barcelona in the Champions League. So it depends. Would you either want to obviously keep him out? Would you want to sort of keep him out of the firing line, if you like, or would you want to sort of bring him into the squad to sort of get him away from club football and sort of motivate him back when he's back into trying to be a good player again, or trying to find his form again, if you like, in that sort of sense. But the other two, absolutely excellent. Jordan Pickford has been amazing for all these years. He is England's #1 goalkeeper. He's fantastic. Dean Henderson again. He's close behind in second. I don't think he's ever going to get in front of Jordan Pickford because of just how well and how consistent he is and how well he's good with a ball at his feet as well. His distribution probably puts him a level above a Dean Henderson, unfortunately for him. But moving over now to the defender situation, let's start off with right backs. I think these 2 right backs pretty much also again pick themselves in Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, Reece James is definitely a guaranteed in there, isn't he? He's fantastic. He's overall probably the best right back England have got in there at the moment, isn't he? He's good. He's good going forward. He's good defensively. He's just a solid all-round player. If we had 11 Reece Jameses on the pitch, I think England will have a good time. They'll probably get to the semi-final with them and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Honestly, I really do believe that. But yeah, obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold, he hasn't really had that good of a season so far. He's spent a lot of time on the Real Madrid bench at the moment, but in recent weeks he's been playing a few games here and there. He's been doing all right in the Champions League as well. So I feel like Thomas Tuchel will include him. Again, you could probably the right back options, there's not many in there at the moment, is there? Obviously, with the latest news of Kyle Walker getting retiring from England, he's not in contention. Kieran Trippier as well, I don't think he's done enough this season to throw his name into the hat. You could maybe mention Tino Livramento. I do like him, but again, he's coming back from injury, isn't he? So I don't think Thomas Tuchel will pick him. I feel like he's just probably 2 or 3, or he's probably like 3 or 4 games away from getting into that England squad, because he's not played enough, has he? Unfortunately for Tino Livramento. So hopefully, if he can pick up some form again for the back end of the season, he'll be into the World Cup squad, because I do really like him. But will I choose him ahead of the other 2 in front of him? I don't think I would. Moving over to centre backs now, we've got Ezri Konsa, who can also play as a like right back, if you like, as that like makeshift right back. So if you do need a player in there to sort of fill in for one of those 2, if they do get injured potentially, he can do the job. But for me at the moment, I would say Ezra Konsa is probably one of England's best centre backs. He's probably the second best centre back in England. Okay, other than Margehi, who's better than him? I don't think nobody is. For me, the best centre backs is in there. You've got Ezri Konsa, you've got Margehi, and then you've got Harry Maguire, who's done pretty well since Michael Carrick's took over, haven't they? So yeah, lose my other 2 centre backs in there, Margehi and Harry Maguire. And then the 4th on the list probably would be, it's a hard one, the fourth choice centre back on the list. But I was thinking maybe could you go with a more experienced Dan Burn, a Lewis Dunk? But again, I don't think they'll probably get chosen. I just think they're probably a little bit over the hill. They're mid-30s now. I don't think they're going to get chosen. I think as well they're probably not having the best of seasons with their respective clubs. So I think the 4th choice centre back will be John Quansah, the obviously English centre back from by Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. For me, again, I haven't really watched him that much, but every time he's sort of come in, and every time he's sort of come in and done a decent job for England so far, when he's been called up by Thomas Tuchel. So that fourth choice centre back, he probably wouldn't get played that much anyway. You can't say probably would get like I would probably want to say maybe one game potentially, but again, we're only playing against Uruguay and Japan, aren't we, at Wembley? So I don't know even if he'll get minutes in this international break. We have to wait and see. Moving over to left back positions, we've got Lewis Hall and Nico O'Reilly. For me, these two have been absolutely on fire this season. Two of the best left backs I've seen so far, and for me, I don't know who else is in contention for this position. You've got Tyreek Mitchell at Crystal Palace, who's fantastic defensively, but he's out of his depth attacking wise, isn't he? He's not a very good attacker. So for that reason, I don't think Tommy Tuchel will ever consider him. You've got the likes of who else is in there? Luke Shaw potentially, but again, I don't really rate Luke Shaw. Don't get me wrong, he's done all right since under Michael Carrick. Now the whole team performing better, but I think these two are just a level above. Honestly, Lewis Hall this season, he's so good attacking wise. Okay, honestly, he gets some good assists. He gets him in with the goals as well, and he's half decent at defending. That's all you need is at left back, don't you? And the same can be said for Nico O'Reilly. For me, he's been one of the standout players for Man City this season. I really like him in that left back position. Obviously, he's been playing more midfield position in recent weeks. He's scoring the goals. He's getting the assists. He keeps that position ticking, doesn't he? Very, very nicely. I feel like again, obviously he started out as a midfielder and he got put back into that left back position, and now he's playing midfield again. So we have to wait and see. He probably could be. He probably has a chance in that midfield if one of the others potentially gets injured. I can't really see him playing there, though. But yeah, I think Nico O'Reilly definitely does deserve a shout in that left back position. We'll have to wait and see if he can make it his own, because those two, that left back spot has always been a bit of a tricky one in recent seasons, hasn't it? So we'll have to wait and see. Now, moving over to midfielders, I think a few of these are pretty much set. My CDM positions: Declan Rice, best midfielder in the league at the moment. You've got Adam Wharton, very, very good. Probably like, third or fourth choice, CDM, deep line playmaker at the moment in the Premier League. And then the third choice centre mid CDM in there. This is a tricky one because it's either between Jordan Henderson and James Garner for me. Obviously for Everton, he's having an absolutely amazing standout season for Everton. His defensive numbers are absolutely solid, aren't they? I really like his defensive numbers. He keeps the ball, he keeps the play ticking in between the defenders, the midfielders, and the forwards, obviously. And I feel like he definitely does deserve a chance in there, but it's just whether or not Thomas Tuchel will want to choose that sort of more experienced head in there, like a Jordan Henderson. He's also had an excellent season at Brentford at times this season, so it is a tricky one to call. Obviously, we've got a young squad, so it just depends whether or not Thomas Tuchel will want to choose that experienced head over a James Garner, but he definitely does deserve it. So those are my three sort of CDM positions, and then my three centre mids I'm choosing in there. Obviously, we've got to have Elliot Anderson. He's ripping it up with Nottingham Forest, even though they're having a terrible season. He's still one of their key players. Then I'm choosing Alex Scott as well. For me, I really do like Alex Scott. He's probably one that probably could miss out, but again, for me, he probably is a player that I could miss out because he's gone a little bit quiet in recent weeks. He's not, been consistent enough. He had a very good start to the season, but he sort of dropped off a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see if Thomas Tuchel will put the trust in him. Maybe he might get left out and Jordan Henderson might come in, and he'll probably have Jordan Henderson and James Garner. I don't know, but my last midfielder in there is definitely one that will get recalled, and that is Kobbie Mainoo. For me, Kobbie Mainoo has to get recalled to the England squad in the penultimate squad, if you like, because the way he controls the games since Michael Carrick has rejoined Manchester United, he looks like a completely different player, doesn't he, under Michael Carrick? It just goes to show what a new manager and with new tactics, playing in the right position, that's all he needed, Kobbie Mainoo, and he's starting to thrive again, honestly. He can do everything from that number 8 position, can't he? He can get on the ball, he can drive up players, he can score goals. He's very good attacking. He's very good passing, controlling the game. He's got a little bit of everything, doesn't he? And I do like that about him. But anyways, moving over to the main forwards now. For me, the three central attacking midfielders slash wingers, if you like, you've got to have Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers, and Abrici Eze. For me, these probably been the best three English attacking midfielders in the Premier League this season, even though Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers haven't really been consistent enough so far this season. They do have world class talent, and they are a level above the rest of the players in the squad, for me at least. Anyways, in that midfield area, like you can probably choose out from. Probably if you look at the players you left out, they're definitely a level above those players in there. And for me, Abrici Eze probably does deserve to start ahead of the other guys, but you probably would start on the left hand side for Thomas Tuchel. So who's going to play in that central attacking midfield position? Cole Palmer or Morgan Rogers? For me, I would have to say Morgan Rogers, even though he hasn't been at his best in the last 12 games. I don't think Cole Palmer's been good the whole season. So when you put that in comparative, when you compare the two players, I think Morgan Rogers, he can bring more to his game. He's got the strength to hold up. He's got strength to hold up the ball. Okay, he's got the ability to beat his man. He never loses the ball. Okay, the way he can just transition from defence to attack instantly. Okay, he's so fast moving the ball forward. He's got an eye for a pass. He's got an eye for a goal. He scores wonder goals this season. He scored 3 or 4 superb goals this season. So yeah, it's just a tricky one. But moving over now to right wingers. For me, the standout name is definitely Bukayo Saka. He's one of the best wingers in the league. He's been doing it year in, year out. He's consistent. He's a Mr. Consistent, isn't he? He's a 7 out of 10 every single game. You know what you're getting with Bukayo Saka. I do really rate the player. You've definitely got to bring him. He's one of Arsenal's best players in the Premier League for like last 4 to 5 seasons now. So I do really like that. And then the next one, it's a bit of a tricky one. Who do you call? Maybe Nani Madueke. But again, I think he's a little bit too raw in there for me. I don't think he'll get into the place. Even though he's had good times this season, being that second fiddle for Arsenal and whatnot for Bukayo Saka, obviously. But I want to say Jarrod Bowen. Okay, for me, he's 29. It's probably his last chance to get into the England World Cup squad, and I think he does still deserve it. Okay, he's been West Ham's main player for the last 3 or 4 years since his first sign. Really, he's a goal scorer. He gets you goals. You know what you're getting with Jarrod Bowen as well. He's very reliable. He's going to provide at least 2 or 3 good crosses a game for Harry Kane, for other strikers we potentially choose as well in there. I do really like him. I do think he deserves it. I think he deserves his spot. I honestly do. So yeah, I think those are the 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers now. I think Anthony Gordon, again, I think his spot is pretty much guaranteed. I don't think there's anybody else in there in the Premier League at the moment to replace him. Again, Anthony Gordon, I do like the player. He steps up in the big moments, doesn't he? You've seen it in the Champions League this season. I think, at the moment, Anthony Gordon, he scored like 7 Champions League goals. So when it matters, he definitely gets you the goals. He's a big time player. However, it's just those games against the little teams, in the Premier League and in the other cup competitions where he doesn't perform. So is that a little bit worrying for England when you come in against the Uruguays, the Japans? Will you potentially will he turn up? I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Does he need a little bit more motivation to actually get you going for that sort of aspects? Maybe let me know in the comments down below. Then the next left winger, I'm not too sure about this person, but I feel like he will get in, and that is Marcus Rashford. Obviously on loan at Barcelona at the moment. He's been inconsistent again this season, a little bit like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's been pretty much benched for the majority of the season, but when he has come on, he has scored a few goals here and there. He has looked sharp, and he has looked, I don't want to say back to his best, because I feel like he probably would have been starting. It's just hard to get in that team in the likes ahead of the likes of Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and whoever else is in there they've got in there. But Marcus Rashford, for me, I think Thomas Tuchel would pick him just because he can also play as a striker. So if because England don't really have a second striker at the moment that's performing as well as the likes of a Harry Kane in there, so he probably could be a backup striker if need be, or third choice striker even. And the same goes with Jarrod Bowen. I didn't even mention that he can also lead the line, can't he, Jarrod Bowen? He's done that a few times now for West Ham this season and last season, so I think that's another a string to his bow, if you like, for Bowen. Didn't even mean to make the pun there, but anyways, we're moving on. last two players on the list, okay, in the striker positions, Harry Kane absolutely lining it up in the Bundesliga for the last 2 seasons now, I'm pretty sure, for Bayern Munich. He's scoring goals galore. I'm pretty sure he's got 20 plus goals at this point of the season, or it's very close at least, like 17, 18 goals or something like that. Might have 20 goals in all competitions, but absolutely lining it up in the Bundesliga. And for me, when we talk about Harry Kane at the, he's got to be like, what, 32, 33 now, maybe. How long can he go on for? I want to say at least another 3 to 4 years. If he stays injury free, I think he could definitely have a good shot in there. And could he potentially move back to the Premier League? I would like to say yes, but I just don't know where he moves to. I don't know what team he goes to. There's obviously been a lot of links to like Man City if Erling Haaland leaves, but I don't know if he would leave anytime soon. He wouldn't go to Arsenal. He wouldn't go to Liverpool. He wouldn't go to. Could he go to Chelsea? I don't think he would go to Chelsea with their rivalry, but you never know. Maybe a Manchester United if Sesko's not doing the business, next season maybe he might join. We don't know. But either way, Harry Kane is the main striker. He's the best striker for England for the past decade. He's the best striker in the world, really, isn't he? He's definitely arguably the best. He's top three at least, anyways. And we need him firing on all cylinders in this competition for the rest of the season, sort of get that form going for the World Cup. If we want to have a chance of winning the World Cup, it'll be because of Harry Kane in there. And the last player on my list, the second striker who I'm going to choose, is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okay, might be a surprise to a few people because, a lot of fans do like to say, he does score he's only scored penalties and he scores tap-ins this season. So I do understand that point of view. However, I think he has been the second best England striker this season. Don't get me wrong, you've got Danny Welbeck, who's had a few. He's had a few good games. He's had a few purple spells in there, but consistently overall, from the overall season, he hasn't been lining up, has he? Danny Welbeck is a player that just goes through spells. I think again, that's you can aim that at Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well, but I feel like he is slightly better. He's more comparable to a Harry Kane in there, in the likes of having the strength and the hold up play, and he's quite tall. He's good in the air, so you could probably score from set pieces if we was going to use that as an attribute with Declan Rice, obviously maybe taking on. So yeah, do you agree or disagree with my England squad? Who would you leave in, leave out? Who would you replace? Is there anybody that I've missed out of this England squad? Is it going to be quite similar to Thomas Tuchel? The news comes out before the video actually gets released at 11 o'clock, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, if I can edit in time. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, before that, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Goes along with having me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 296 subscribers, only 4 away from 300. Hopefully we can do the business. Yeah, and I just want to say a massive thank you for the recent support on the most recent episodes, all the likes and the comments on social media as well. Definitely is going to notice, and I really do hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.